What is up, everyone? JX Rico here, coming at you with a Blu-ray update. It's been a long time coming, about 6 to 7 months. I've been away from YouTube, just dealing with life. I had other priorities, school, work, just had to get things done. But in that time I was away from YouTube, I've picked up a lot of titles that I want to share with you. So without further ado, I'm just going to breeze through these titles because I don't want my video to be about an hour long. Hopefully shooting for about 30 minutes, but we'll see. So first up, I picked up some Criterions during the Criterion sale back in June or July. Then I picked up a few more in November of 2015, and scattered across my my pickups are about new releases. They're going to be like some anime, some digibooks, and also some collector sets as well. So without further ado, I'll just get started with my Criterions. So first up, we have 5 Easy Pieces with Jack Nicholson. I haven't seen this film yet, but I'm really looking forward to watching this very, very soon. Next up, we have one of my favorite horror films, and it's The Uninvited. Definitely check this one out if you haven't. Another film that I hear great things about, Federico Fellini, is La Dolce Vita. One of those Criterion art house films from the French New Wave. Can't wait to check this one out. Next up, we have Black Stallion. It has that director approved sticker on here from Criterion. Love those stickers. This one stars Mickey Rooney. Wonderful film. Charles Chaplin's Limelight. A film, Hiroshima Mon Amour. This film is just phenomenal. Every aspect, it's very artsy. The soundtrack is amazing. Definitely recommend this one. It's about these two lovers, a Japanese man and a French woman who fall in love with each other. A very good art house film. So Hiroshima Mon Amour. Next up, we have Ernest Hemingway's The Killers. This comes with the 1940s version and the 1960s version, but my preference will be the 1940s version. I just couldn't watch the whole version of the 1960s just because I love the original so much. So yeah, The Killers. So next up is Leo McCarey's Make Way for Tomorrow. He also directed An Affair to Remember, one of the most dramatic films I've ever seen in my life. This is a very, very sad film. If you haven't seen this film, embrace yourselves, but I do highly recommend it because this is one of my favorite films, and I just believe that everyone needs to see this if you're a film lover and a film critic. So yeah, Make Way for Tomorrow. We have Wings of Desire. This is kind of like the original to I want to say City of Angels. Next up is The Bridge. This is a very good film. You kind of follow these boys as they venture off into the war, and they're very excited to join it. And then once they get into the real gritty level of the war and experience it firsthand, they just kind of, in a way, regret it because they don't want to die. And then it's just very dramatic at the end. So yeah, The Bridge. Next up, a film by Jean-Luc Godard, and it's Vivre sa vie. Sorry if I butchered it, but one of my favorite films by Godard. Next up, we have Eyes Without a Face. A film by Robert Montgomery, Ride the Pink Horse. One of these films that I've wanted to add to my collection for a very long time. Glad I picked this one up, but it's Les Samurai. And then we have Yasujiro Ozu's one of Yasujiro Ozu's greatest films, and it's Good Morning. Just waiting for a Blu-ray release of this one. Alright, next up we have a film by Keisuke Kinoshita. This one is 24 Eyes. It's a 4-hour film, so granted, if you can't sit through a 4-hour film, I don't recommend this at all. It's a very interesting story about a young teacher and her kind of career as these kids, her first class grows up, and then they kind of you kind of follow their lives throughout this whole film. So yeah, 24 Eyes, very good film, a very good film. I said that 2 times. Next up, we have The Friends of Eddie Coyle. Much like Robert Mitchum to star in film noirs, this one's a little bit dark and it's a little bit more unique to his to kind of his later career. But I enjoyed it very much, and it's The Friends of Eddie Coyle. I highly recommend it. And then we have 3 films by Michelangelo Antonioni, and it's La Ventura, L'Eclisse, and La Notte. All 3 of these are very good films. I remember watching La Ventura the first time on Blu-ray, and it's just a very beautiful transfer. If you haven't seen this film on Blu-ray, I highly recommend it, because you'll just be mind blown by just the very clear image that Criterion has put out on a disc, and they did a phenomenal job with the restoration. So yeah, La Ventura, highly recommend it. And all these other 2 other films by him are very good as well. And last but not least, to top off my Criterion pickups, I've been wanting this collection for a very long time. I just happened to be in the store one day and I saw it on the shelf, and I said, why not? You know, I might as well just pick this one up because I've been eyeing it every time I come in. And it's the Rebel Samurai. This is the 60 swordplay classics and includes Samurai Rebellion, Sword of the Beast, Samurai Spy and Kill. This one stars Toshiro Mifune and also Tatsuya Nakadai. Moving on to new release titles, we have the Scorch Trials Digibook from Target, a Target exclusive. Next up, we have My Fair Lady, Audrey Hepburn. This is the 50th anniversary 4K Neo Pack. Next up, we have Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Very great film if you haven't seen it. This is the Best Buy exclusive steelbook. Next up, we have Ted 2. This is the Target exclusive steelbook. I love this one better than the first one. I know a lot of people probably didn't like this one, but I did like the Jurassic Park parody. That one was very clever. So yeah, Ted 2, unrated. 2 films, Jackie Chan films, Classic Chan, Rumble in the Bronx. Remember this one growing up. And then First Strike. Next up, we have Jurassic World, one of my favorite films of 2015. I know a lot of people probably didn't like this one. It was a mixture of Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 2: The Lost World, in my opinion. But you know, for what it was, I enjoyed it, and I'm very excited to have this one in my collection. Next up, I picked this one up because it was certified fresh and I heard some great things about it, and it was The Gift. I think this one was directed by Joel Edgerton, if I'm not mistaken. So let me double check real quick. Yeah, written and directed by Joel Edgerton. I did feel this movie was a bit overrated, but hey, that's just my opinion. Yeah, The Gift. Next up, one of my childhood favorites, The Indian in the Cupboard, a 4K remaster. Finally picked this one up, Goodfellas, 50% off. I think I got this for about 13 bucks. The 4K remaster digibook. Classic Good Burger, Kenan and Kel, Nickelodeon, needs a Blu-ray release. Picked this one up for 10 bucks. Spy. This one stars Melissa McCarthy, Jason Statham, Rose Byrne, and Jude Law. I'm not a really big fan of Melissa McCarthy, but this one kind of held its own, in my opinion, and it's pretty funny in some parts. But yeah, Spy, it's worth owning. Next up is the 40th anniversary of My Name Is Nobody. It's just a classic Western with Terrence Hill and Henry Fonda. So yeah, My Name Is Nobody. Harrison Ford, Melanie Griffith, and Sigourney Weaver in Working Girl. $7.99 at Best Buy. Picked up Age of Adeline. Speaking of Harrison Ford, the younger version of Anthony Gruber is in here as well. Does a great performance of a younger version of Harrison Ford. So yeah, definitely recommend this one if you haven't seen it, Age of Adeline. Alright, so next up we have Marley. This one is going for $3.99 at Best Buy. If you haven't checked this one out, definitely do. If you're not a Bob Marley fan, I still recommend it. So yeah, filmed by Kevin McDonald, a great documentary portraying Bob Marley. The bonus disc, the Best Buy exclusive, also comes with about 3 additional tour performances by Bob Marley. So yeah, definitely check this one out if you haven't. I'm just a big fan of reggae music. Loved it ever since I was a youngling. So yeah. Next up, shout out to Brett the Movie Guy for letting me know about this deal. There's a few other films in this collection or this pickup video that he mentioned to me and let me know of that I kind of forgot which titles they were. But this was the main one that he informed me of, and it's the Clint Eastwood 20 film collection. So yeah, 20 films by Clint Eastwood. Next up, pick this one up for $5 at Target, and it's LA Confidential. A new release, Everest. It was an alright film. It's a gripping film, very tragic as well. But I think this one's based on a true story. So yeah, great performances all around. Everest. One of my favorite films of 2015, and it's Straight Outta Compton. Just a great film. I loved it from start to finish, and the disc scene with Ice Cube standalone is just great. Very epic. So yeah, Straight Outta Compton. Have yet to watch this film, but I hear it's an average film. Jonah Hill, James Franco, and Felicity Jones, and it's the true story. This one was about $5.99 at Best Buy, so I just definitely want to check this one out. Comedic duo playing a drama. Next up, an underrated film in my opinion. I know a lot of people don't like this film, but it's The Cobbler with Adam Sandler. I know there's something about this film that I enjoy watching. So yeah, The Cobbler. It's just a fun film, not to take it serious. Picked up Elysium, the Steelbook, on eBay a while back for about, I think I got this one, and I had, it was a combo with District 9 with the slipcover for about $20 total. So yeah, Elysium, the Target exclusive Steelbook. Then we have the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I believe this is the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. Christmas in Connecticut. Great film, classic. Had to watch this during the holidays, but I didn't get around to it. Next up, we have How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This is the Jim Carrey rendition. So yeah, How the Grinch Stole Christmas with the beautiful slipcover. One of my all-time favorite films ever, and it's Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. This one stars my favorite actor of all time, Sidney Poitier. Also stars Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn, and Catherine Hofton, whom is Katharine Hepburn's niece. So yeah, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. This is a Twilight Time exclusive. So, you know, if you haven't seen Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, check out the DVD version. I think it's about $10 on Amazon, or you can probably find it cheaper. But yeah, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is one of my favorite films of all time. Spencer Tracy's speech is just amazing. Next up, we have Kathy Bates and Jennifer Jason Leigh and Dolores Claiborne. Just a classic film. Not a classic film, but just a childhood film of mine. Then we have some olive titles. We have The Singing Detective, starring Robert Downey Jr. Then we have Daniel, starring Timothy Hutton. Childhood classic, Free Willy. I always love revisiting this film. It's a classic soundtrack. I've been to the filming locations, and I'm very satisfied with my experience. So yeah, Free Willy. Alright, so another childhood favorite of mine is Blast from the Past. This one stars Brendan Fraser, Alicia Silverstone, Christopher Walken, and Sissy Spacek. So yeah, Blast from the Past. Next up is Ex Machina. It Follows. Then we have an Arrow Videos release, Cemetery Without Crosses. Then we have Bean Streets. Pit Stop from Arrow Video. Also Arrow Video, The Happiness of Kata Kitties. Then we have a bunch of olive film titles. Again, Criminal Law with Kevin Bacon and Gary Oldman. Then we have Street Smart. with Christopher Reeve and Morgan Freeman. Then we have Wild Thing, Baby It's You. Then we have Fled, Lawrence Fishburne and Stephen Baldwin. Johnny Be Good, and Thrashin'. I'm not too sure if I featured this in my last update about 7 months ago, but there they are again. Also, if you love Olive Films or Arrow Videos, I'll leave the links below. It's like www.olivefilms.com and then arrowvideousa.com. Next up we have The Illusionist. Very anticipated to watch this film. I know Evan at the Disco featured this in one of his channels, his Blu-ray pickup videos, and I was very intrigued by it. So yeah, The Illusionist. Next up we have Terminator Genesis. This one is the Best Buy exclusive, a lenticular slipcover. Next up we have A Clockwork Orange. This is the digibook. I got this one for about 10 bucks. And here's the District 9 with the slipcover. Very nice embossed slipcover. Next up we have the Ides of March. Picked this one up for fairly cheap on eBay. I think for 5 bucks with the slipcover. This is the Canadian release. So you can see it has like the little French words underneath the title. Next up we have the Ultimate Edition of Kingdom of Heaven. One of my favorite Clint Eastwood films, Escape from Alcatraz. One of my favorite horror films, Guilty Pleasure, The Faculty. Then we have the Target exclusive 25th anniversary of Edward Scissorhands, Johnny Depp. Another horror classic, Christine, with the very glossy slipcover. Got that for about 10 bucks. Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. You can pick this one up at Target for $10 now. I think I picked this one up for about regular price when it first released. So about 20 bucks. I actually have 2 copies of this, and it's the Aladdin Best Buy exclusive with the lenticular slipcover. And then we have the San Andreas film with the lenticular slipcover, only at Best Buy. And then one of my favorite psychological thrillers is Identity, with John Cusack, Ray Liotta, and Amanda Peet. Then I'll just dive into my animes. We have Tokyo Ghoul's, just a great anime. This is the complete first season. Can't wait for season 2 to come out on Blu-ray. Picked this one up on a deal at Funimation.com. These were going for about 40 a piece. They usually go for about maybe 50 to 60 a piece. If not more, and it's the part 1 and part 2 of Attack on Titan, one of my favorite animes. I believe this is part 1, and this is part 2. It's a very thick, it's more of a digipack. Next up we have the Target exclusive of Furious 7, kind of over the top. We have The Last Dragon with the slipcover. How to Rep My Warriors. This is the Blu-ray DVD combo with the 2014-15 NBA champions. It comes with a slew of bonus features. Stephen Curry with a mod, Steph Curry handles, Draymond Green highlight reel, Klay Thompson with Grant Hill, and just a bunch of other featurettes. If you're a Warriors fan, definitely pick this one up. I'm pretty disappointed that this didn't come in like a Blu-ray packaging, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. So yeah, NBA Finals. Golden State Warriors 2015 champs. Next up, pick this one up off of Sony when they had their deal going on for $5 titles, I think, or $5.99 titles, and it's Matilda, childhood favorite of mine. Then I got this under the DMC Toy Story, That Time Forgot, with the nice lenticular slipcover. Next up, we have Of Mice and Men, one of my favorite films growing up. I remember watching this in class after reading the book. So yeah, Of Mice and Men, and Olive Films release. Next up, we have The Walk. This one was going for about 20 bucks, I believe, at Target. This is the lenticular Blu-ray 3D version. So yeah, The Walk. Next up, we have Sicario. Finally picked up The Human Condition from Barnes & Noble. Another 4-hour long, lengthy film, but I'm a sucker for Japanese films, and this one is a film by one of my favorite directors, Masaki Kobayashi. Also stars Tatsuya Nakadai. Next up we have Minions. This is the Bob exclusive packaging from Target. Next up we have My Girl, one of my favorite films. And one of the most depressing scenes is when, you know, Thomas J is in the coffin and she's crying over the coffin. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen My Girl, which you should have. And then this one is 1776. This one stars Mr. Feeney. Then next up we have Frank Capra's You Can't Take It With You digibook. This is a very nice rendition of the film. A very nice packaging, somewhat like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Also one of my favorite films of 2015, and is dope. It's just a sick soundtrack. It says that it's produced by Forrest Whitaker and executive producer Pharrell Williams. Not surprised by that. Next up we have Sneakers. I mainly bought this because Sidney Poitier. I didn't really like how Sidney Poitier wasn't featured enough in this film, but overall, you know, it has a tight cast with Robert Redford, Dan Aykroyd, Ben Kingsley, and then, you know, David Stratham. Continuing on with some of my anime pickups, and it's Afro Samurai. This is the Complete Murder Session. This is dope anime. Also, one of my favorite with the 6.6 soundtrack, Samurai Champloo, the complete series. Then going into some more newer pickups, Pitch Perfect 2. I enjoy this one better than the first one. This one was very funny. Highly recommend it. Then we have The Man Who Shot Liberty Vance with James Stewart and John Wayne. 30 Days of Night, a very good vampire thriller. Maid of Honor with Patrick Dempsey and Michelle Monaghan. Then we have the 4K remasters of Bad Boys 1 and 2. The Avengers Age of Ultron, this is the Target exclusive. Inside Out with the custom kind of slip design, or whatever you want to call it, with the art cards. This is the Best Buy exclusive. Then we have the Southpaw Steelbook. Then we have the Back to the Future Trilogy Collection Steelbook from Target. Then again we have another Aladdin with a lenticular slip. Battle of LA, got this from the Sony deal, $5.99. Pixels, $5.99 as well. And then we have Starship Troopers, Johnny Rico. Once Upon a Time in America. This is probably the best release that you'll ever see on Blu-ray. I hear that the transfer from the newer one, they kind of messed up on the saturation. But yeah, Once Upon a Time in America, this is the original release and probably the best release. Scorch Trials, love this film. I also showed you the digibook as well from Target. This is the Best Buy exclusive steelbook. Then we have The Notebook, then Elf with Will Ferrell, one of my favorite Mel Gibson films, and it's Payback on Blu-ray. Conviction with Hilary Swank, great film. Then we have The Mist. This is the 2-disc collector's edition. Got this off Go Hastings. You can tell it's pretty fucked up, but yeah, it's still good. And then we have the Ant-Man steelbook from Best Buy. A lot of people didn't like Ant-Man. I don't know why, but maybe it's just Paul Rudd. Maybe it's the humor. Maybe they wanted to see Ant-Man portrayed in a different light. But I enjoyed it. Next up is Max. Great film, I loved it. Goosebumps brought back a bunch of memories, very nostalgic, yeah, it's a very good film. I loved it. Goosebumps. This one is No Escape, a thrill ride with Owen Wilson and Pierce Brosnan. I love this film. If you haven't seen this film, it's very underrated in my opinion, but it's just a very entertaining film. No Escape. It's $10 right now. Then we have Gunfight at OK Corral with Burt Lancaster. One of the very kind of like a film that let me down is Woodlawn. I thought I was going to enjoy this film thoroughly, but I was very let down by it. I don't know. I didn't like the pace. I didn't like the acting. I mean, it stars Sean Astin and Jon Voight, but you know, it's kind of false advertisement when it says it's a combination of Remember the Titans, Facing the Giants, and Rudy. I haven't seen Facing the Giants, but Rudy and Remember the Titans, it's not even close. Charlie's Angels, classic. Then we have The Martian, one of my favorite films of 2015. Fun comedy. Tomorrowland, another great film. Enjoyed it. Selma, I need a slipcover for this. I hate Go Hastings for not shipping slipcovers. And then I need Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit slipcover. Got these for fairly cheap. X-Men, The Days of Future Past. This is the Rogue edition, or the Rogue cut. Got this for $10. Need a slip for it. I got a few more Criterion titles. Japanese films. I'll save those for last. Mad Max, Fury Road. Finally picked it up. I still need that Best Buy exclusive steelbook. If anyone is willing to trade, if they have an extra steelbook, let me know. Paper Towns. Didn't like the ending to that one. Thought it was pretty corny. And then 12 Monkeys, just a classic thriller with Brad Pitt. So we'll start off with another film by Masaki Kobayashi, and it's Quiet On. Very artsy film with lots of vibrant colors. Oh man, I was so excited for this one. And it's filmed by Akira Kurosawa, my favorite Japanese director of all time. And it's Ikiru. This one stars Takashi Shimura. Loved his work. I love all of his work and all of his films with Akira Kurosawa, but this one is by far his best performance. Ikiru. Definitely check this one out. Another depressing film, but not as depressing as Make Way for Tomorrow. Next up is Vengeance Is Mine. It was an alright film. I was kind of let down by it, but then at the same time, you know, I don't know, it's a different type of film. It's a very different film. And last out of the Criterion pickups, I have Sancho the Bailiff, a film by Kenji Mizoguchi. Just a very, very beautifully crafted film. I love the packaging for this film as well. Comes with this very thick book. Also, the material on this thing is very like a felt material. So yeah, it's a very nice packaging, very nice film. I highly recommend it. It's probably one of my favorite films, Japanese films. It's probably in my top 10. So yeah, Sancho the Bailiff. And last but not least, to top this Blu-ray update off is a collection that I've been anticipated for a very long time. And of course, it's the Back to the Future, The Complete Adventures. This one has the light up lenticular, you know, packaging. You know, I wish it had more effect to it, or maybe sound effects. But hey, what the hell? Beggars can't be choosers. This comes with all 3 movies on Blu-ray, as well as the Complete Animated Adventures, which I've seen when I was a kid, but vaguely remembered it. So I'm glad to have that in my collection. Also, a new bonus disc with Doc Brown short and a 64-page book. As you can see here, comes with all these little features right here. So yeah, that is it, guys. That is my Blu-ray update for the past 6 to 7 months. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm probably thinking this video is going to be well over 30 minutes, but hey, I can probably do some movie magic and cut this down to maybe 20 minutes, but I highly doubt it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my update. I'm planning to probably shoot more videos in the near future. Sorry for the 7-month hiatus, but you know, life got in the way and I just had other priorities to fulfill. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. JX Rico signing out.